I've been on this journey a mighty long time. I felt like giving up, thought I would lose my mind.
Hey, it's your girl, Pastor Angela Johnson. Of course, we are one sister to another, IntellectualRadio.com. We're an iHeartRadio station. And guess what? We are in this place today. Yes, it is snowing in Chicago, and it's all right anyhow. We were born in this mess. Come on here.
I know, right?
My mama said 1965, which is the year I was born or so, maybe maybe even a year before that or a year after. She said we were living on Harrison Street, and the snow, we were living in a basement apartment, and the snow was up to the door. She said, but her and her children dug through that thing and went and got some groceries. Come on. It's, of course, one sister to another. IntellectualRadio.com. This is my first show of the year, so I came in pumped up. I came in excited, and we are going to talk about something I believe that is near and dear to the hearts of not only people in business, but people that are in ministry as well. We're going to talk about some things. But before we do that, what I thought to make sure I let you all know is that we're not a renegade. In fact, we are covered by Greater Love, Greater Works Outreach International, Pastor Robert L. Johnson Jr. You can come have church with us at 17 West, 620 Reardon, Villa Park, Illinois, 60181 if you're going to navigate. And also, Everything Moves, promoting and consulting. Vending is my business. And if you don't want, look, I got an apostle, teacher, preacher, pastor sitting to my left today. And I know he don't want y'all coming in there with these deficits. If you're going to have these programs and all this stuff, what you need to do is you need to hook up with your girl, and I'll tell you how to do it so you don't have no bills. Come on. That's the person I am. Everything Moves, promoting and consulting. Listen at this. One of the other things we're going to be doing today, because in about 4 minutes, we're going to be talking to of course, my cousin, Tanya Smith, Tax Services. We're going to be giving you a new little bitty, giving you a new nugget today, of course, and it's our tax tip. She's calling in from Vicksburg, Mississippi. She's going to be on with us at 3:05 exactly. We're going to be giving our tax tip. That's Tanya Smith. But also, I thought to also have a segment. Gonna have a segment, and I want you all to make sure you're telling your friends and your family that they, of course, can tune in via their iPod, iPad, Android, Apple product, yeah, all that. I don't believe in none of them. I'm Samsung anyway. I'm the Note 5. But look, tell them they can tune in from their desktop, their iPad, their, of course, their Android phone or their Apple product. Also, want to introduce to you all something that I thought was near and dear to all of our hearts that are women, and that is we have a book that we're going to be featuring for the entire quarter, January, February, and March. When I come on live, we're going to be talking about our book of the quarter. Just so happened that I interviewed this young man. Look, I think R.C. Blake, he may even be a little younger than me, but I promise you, he's like you, Apostle Treadwell. He's just old in the Holy Ghost. So when they old in the Holy Ghost, they got something to teach you. So I just going on and breaking down the list. So this is R.C. Blake's. Of course, the name of the book is called Queenology. It's called Queenology. He says the term queenology speaks of the study of queens. It is another conversation that fathers should have with their daughters relative to who they are. So every woman, Brittany, is a queen. She just don't know it yet, but you keep on holding on. Go to rcblakes.com and order the book. Go to rcblakes.com, order the book. And also, if you go to rcblakes@gmail.com, rcblakes@gmail.com. And if we're going to have that right, don't worry. We're going to find the right information, because I want you all to be able to call him or email his secretary, Donna, and bring him into your church. We were able to bring him in on last year at our church for our champions, the Day of Champions. And that man of God didn't preach all but 30 minutes, and he laid down the God law. I'm telling y'all, the man preached. Do you hear me? We're still living off. All you need to do sometime is not do a whole bunch of talking. You need to bust a move. Come on here. I know I'm talking to somebody. Amen. Queenology is our book for the quarter. Queenology is our book for the quarter. Want you all to order it and look for him on rcblakes.com. rcblakes.com will get you the book. But if you go out to his Facebook page, which is RC Blakes as well, RC Blakes, you can also find out when Queenology is going to be touring in your city. We got about 1 more minute, and guess what? We're going to be talking to none other than Tanya Smith about our tax tip. But guess what we're talking about today? about minding your own business, minding your own business. And sometimes what I'm thinking is that we need to be stopped. We need to freeze some time and stop spending so much money or giving so much money to the government that we don't have to give them. Tanya Smith.
Hey, how are you?
How you doing today? Listen, okay, so we're going to do this tax tip for our folks. Share with us who you are, where you're from, and then go ahead and give us our tax tip for today.
Well, my name is Tanya Smith. I own Smith Tax and Bookkeeping Services, LLC in Ridgeland, Mississippi. I have been doing taxes for about 20 years, and I decided after I left state government to do it full time. So it's been about 2 years now since I've been doing it, but like I tell people, anybody can punch in numbers to do taxes, but I'm more of a tax coach as well, because a lot of us don't understand planning, which is how to beat the government legally and save money. So that's one of the things I focus on, not only just doing your taxes, but giving you a tax plan on how to save some of the money that you earn.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. What have you found to be some of the most frustrations during this time of the year? Maybe they have their own small business, or maybe pastors, sometime because they're not telling us everything we need to know. So of course we're relying on small business and huge businesses like yourself to talk to us and make it a little bit more intimate. Go ahead.
One of the things that I have found out, especially with the self-employed, they don't know they have an advantage when it comes to taking work-related deductions, and a lot of them don't keep up with receipts. Biggest thing is bookkeeping. You have to keep good records throughout the year, and I find that a lot of our small businesses, some of them don't do that. So that's something I try to work with them on as well. But in general, it's harder to claim some business expenses, especially when you have an employee, even if you aren't reimbursed. Because there are some situations I've seen, especially with health insurance premiums with the self-employed, some of them don't know that they can itemize that and write that off, especially medical expenses, especially traveling. They don't understand that, if you're traveling, say, to a workshop for whatever field it is you're in, if being you're self-employed, you're having to pay for that out of your own pocket.
Wow.
So a lot of people don't understand that can be a tax deduction, because if you're going for training in the area in which that's your trade, that's considered training.
Absolutely.
So you can deduct that, as well as the hotel fees and whatever. If your lunch is not being served, you can even claim that. But I just find that a lot of small businesses aren't aware of what they can claim in order to save themselves some money. Just like with lunches, that's the first thing I hear. Well, I took this client to lunch, and these are I say, you can't. It's certain lunches you can't claim. Most people think just because I take a client out to lunch, it's tax deductible. Not necessarily. But those who do frequently take their clients out for lunch or coffee or what have you, and if the client insists on paying, what they don't understand is called the Dutch rule. You can take them out to eat. They can insist, oh no, I'm going to pay for my lunch myself. But under the Dutch rule, an employed person can deduct up to 50% of the cost, even if you're only paying for yourself.
So Dutch works for everybody. We have one more minute. Tanya, we have one more minute with you. Oh my God. So of course, y'all, you heard what I said. This was our first tax tip for today. And every time we go live now, I believe it's going to be once a month, we're going to make sure that Tanya knows to call in and give us a tax tip. Tanya, what do you want to leave us with as we are getting ready to all file our 2017 tax returns?
Thing, we are currently in the process of entering in taxes right now. Those who aren't doing itemization, because on the 29th is when the IRS will open up their system so we can start uploading. So my thing is, for those who are doing deductions, go ahead, start pulling your information together. Make sure you have everything in order before you see your tax preparer. That way they can go ahead, get everything done, and get you filed.
Get you filed. Listen, give us where we can email you, and you have a Facebook page where you actually do you have a tax tip Tuesday. Give us that real quick.
Find me on Facebook under Tax Tip Tuesday with Tanya. It is a closed group, but you can be added. But also my website is smithtaxprep.com, and you just have any questions, you can email me through the website.
Oh, wonderful. smithtaxprep.com. Thank you so much, cousin. Tanya Smith has given us our tax tip for today, Monday, January 15th. We're going to talk to you soon, okay, cousin?
All right.
Talk to you soon. You too as well. Of course, IntellectualRadio.com. We're an iHeart radio station. I'm one sister to another, and we're getting ready to go to our first break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about minding your own business. And we got some guests in the room. Apostle Timothy Treadwell. Honey, who don't know his daddy and his family? And then, of course, we've got him to my left. But he has a book out as well, and it's called Jewels for the Journey. Just came out, a guide for overcoming life's challenges. Going to talk to him about his business, ACN. And then, of course, we've got in the room our own, Brittany Williams is in the room. She's going to talk to us about making sure you got your life insurance together. Prime America. She's going to talk to us about financial, of course, setups and things that are going to work for you as we enter this 2018. Come on, like bulls. We're going to get in there. And then, of course, she just walked in the room. You don't see her, but she's here. None other than Job Grind. Come on here. Why y'all working so hard? She's going to teach us how to just go ahead and work smarter instead of working hard. This is your girl, one sister to another, IntellectualRadio.com. iHeartRadio. We'll be right back.
I've had some people who's left my side. I've got some enemies who have tried to break my stride. I'm gonna keep pressing toward the mark to get my prize. No matter how hard it is, I won't be denied. I've come too far to turn around. I'm on a mission, and I won't be bound. I can't stop, y'all. I won't stop. I'm too far. Oh, I can't. I won't. I can turn around. Oh, no. I can't stop. Can't stop. I won't stop. I can't turn around. No. I can't stop. No, I won't stop. I'm too far. God said, I'll never leave or forsake you. No. Said I can't stop, won't stop. Oh, no. I know I'll make it because through him I'll do. Oh, no. I just can't stop, y'all. I can't stop. God knows I can't stop, y'all. I gotta keep going now. The prize is before me.
Hey. It's your girl, Angela Johnson. Of course, Earl Winfrey, I'm going to need you to pass me that right there. Over there by there. That 50 years, and they're still going strong. Guess where I was at today? I was at the Martin Luther King birthday event. Of course, it is called the Excel Scholarship program event today. We were there, and 50 years later is what the theme was today. Y'all talking about absolutely amazing. It was absolutely amazing. We were downtown at the Hyatt Regency, and of course, my company sent us down there today, so I got paid to go down there and have a good time today, and a good time did I have. But I thought what highlighted the actual morning, because we had breakfast. Them folks know how to make grits too at the Hyatt Regency. I just want to let y'all know what highlighted our morning though was the oratorical program. They have an oratorical program. There's a little lady who's been on this commercial on Channel 5 about, hey, black lady, or hey, black girl. That little sister, they had her live down there and some of her little peers. And I was looking through here to see if I could show you all actually who she was. But that program has been in existence for 30 years. Happy birthday, Dr. King. Been in existence for 30 years. Of course, Reverend Jesse Jackson is the director or the president, or he's the director over the actual program, Excel program. But so they had the oratorical program. They were down there. There were about a 7-year-old, maybe you had a 9-year-old, and you had a 16-year-old. Absolutely amazing African American children who knew how to speak. Their diction was on point. Come on, y'all. We were just made us all proud because the room was absolutely packed. Last but not least, we had keynote speaker was Brian Stevenson. I don't know if you all could see this or not. I don't know. But Brian Stevenson was our keynote today, and he's the founder and executive director of the Equal Justice Initiative. Absolutely, positively. He said these words, and I thought this was awesome. He said, there'll be a time when silence is going to be considered as being, you're agreeing with what they're doing to us. And I'm not saying it exactly like he said it, because I don't remember the quote exactly, but he just talked about how silence is one day going to mean that you are agreeing with the injustices that are happening to us as a people. Today, right here at One Sister to Another Intellectual Radio, iHeartRadio, and we thank you all for joining us. It's our first broadcast for the year. So happy New Year, happy New You 2018. And for our first of course, broadcast, we wanted to start this year off with a bang. And I was thinking to myself, man, how can we do that? Most of the time, you guys, and this is how I'm gonna take us right on into this segue of what we're getting ready to talk about. Most of the time, if you're a Christian, you don't think much about business. And if you're a business, you ain't thinking much about the kingdom. But do you all not know that these two should join? There has to be some gap filling as it pertains to that. And so I'm thinking to myself, how can I best express to my viewers, my listeners, what I'm sensing as a woman of God, businesswoman, corporate woman, all that, and the bag of chips wrapped all into one. How do we best evenly balance all that out? And so I thought about my guests, and of course, thank you all so much for joining us today. I'm going to go down to our far left, and of course, we have none other than the director of our orgs and job grind, of course, CEO, none other than Lisette Hurton is down on my far left, and then in the middle, come on, we got our baby girl who's grown, honey. She's a married woman. Come on, but just happens to be in business. We have none other than Brittany Williams, who is also our representative for Prime America, and then of course, we've got our big brother of the faith. I called and talked to Apostle Treadwell, started telling him about everybody I knew in his family and how his cousin worked with my mama at Delta. Actually, that's my mom's goddaughter, and just all this other stuff. But he is here representing the kingdom and business, all of you guys, because you're all saved and born again. I so do thank God for that. And of course, you guys are going to help us mend the gap. There's a gap, of course. And so, Apostle Treadwell, we're going to kick off with you today. One of the things I noticed is that you also have a book that you wrote. You got to tell us a little bit about that a little bit later. But I want you to introduce yourself, share with us where your church is, all that good stuff, if you're married, your children. And then I want you to share with us who you're representing today and why are you involved in the business that you're involved in.
So much, Angela, for allowing me to come. Happy New Year to everyone.
He says my name like he's been knowing me forever. Angela, did you hear that?
I am Apostle Timothy A. Treadwell,
Amen.
Senior Pastor of Performing Christ Ministries. We have 2 locations, 1 church and 2 locations. Our first and primary location is 5209 West on Lake Street, Chicago, Illinois. Then we have a second location, 4201 West 167th Street in Country Club Hills. We have services at the Marcus Cinema Theater every Sunday morning at 8 a.m. and on the west side at 10:15. Love to have you. I am married 17 wonderful years. 17 this year, 17 wonderful years. I have 6 children, and all are grown except for my 15-year-old son. And I'm excited to be here. Thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
I am the presiding prelate of the Grace Covenant Fellowship International of Churches. So I'm glad to be here. And yes, I am in business and I'm a pastor. And I find that many of us, for me, the biggest things, we stop dreaming. And when you look at all the inventors, most of the inventors were Black inventors. And they invented because they were doing the labor work and they created things to make their life easier. And a lot of times we got stuck, yeah, going to school, get an education, get a job. That's great. But if you want something greater than that, that just doesn't cut it, because no one ever gets rich working a 9 to 5. And if you talk to somebody that is retired, they'll tell you that vehicle doesn't work if you're trying to retire, because you just don't have enough money to retire. That's why a lot of seniors are doing reverse mortgages, because they don't have the money. Most of us Black folk don't have the credit worthiness or financial worthiness to get a house till we are almost 50. So now if you're 50 getting a 30-year mortgage, you're 80, but you can't, something happened, I can't work. I stopped working at 70. I got 10 years left on my house. How do I pay that? I ain't got but maybe $1,000, $900 in Social Security coming in. How do I live? So end up doing a reverse mortgage. You're living with your parents, you live in a senior home, with your children or senior home. But that's not how God wanted us to live as children of God. We should be in overflow. That means the Bible talks about multiple streams of income. So we have to open our minds up and how we can grow our money and do things, not get a second job, get a first destiny, if I can say that. So you got the first job, you don't need another job. Get your first job to let that take you to your first destiny. And your first destiny ought to be wealth and wealth transformation. And it's not about leaving, and I should do insurance. So it's not so much about leaving insurance for the kids, but what can I need to leave an assurance for the kids.
Assurance as well.
Yeah.
Amen.
That
Amen.
you can take my knowledge and take it to the next level.
Tell us this, Apostle Treadwell, and then of course I want you young ladies to jump right on in. Tell us, so you're here today and you're representing ACN.
Yes.
Tell us what that is.
ACN is the largest company in the world of sales and services of telecommunications and energy. Nobody, not ComEd, not People's Gas, not Nightcore, no one in the world. We're in 25 countries and 4 continents. That's how large we are.
What made you cross over?
When we talked about, they told me about the deregulation of energy, and I knew about that. And they said, are you familiar with Warren Buffett? I said, yes. Well, did you know Warren Buffett is the investor in all of history, not American history? I said, no, I didn't know that. He said, well, Warren Buffett said the deregulation of energy will be the greatest transfer of wealth that America has ever seen. So if a man is a multi-billionaire can say that to you, then you need to listen. You follow what I'm saying?
I like that.
You need to listen. So now I'm listening. You got my attention. And they said energy, light and gas. If I can show you how to lower your light and gas to as low as $39 a month, would you be interested? I said, are you serious? Yeah, interested. I said, sure, I would. Then they said, well, tell you what, if you pay, if I said, hey, if you pay $500 one time to never pay light and gas again, would you do it? I said, when you need to check.
Absolutely. Right.
To never pay light and gas again. Sure, I'll give you $500. So that's how that conversation started. And now I work for a company because I make good money, but it's not how I want to live.
Yeah.
Honestly, I ain't but a couple of paychecks away from not being outdoors. You follow what I'm saying? So I want to have a residual income where I can have 6 figures count every single month.
6 figures.
Every single month. And when they showed me how in 8 months I can make 6 figures annually and grow that beyond, you had me all open, because I'm a pastor. My dad was a pastor. He retired when he was in 2000. 2000 he retired. And my thing is this: I see pastors, senior pastors, they preach and pastor all their life, and they're in the pulpit, 80, 85, still in the pulpit, Why? Because most times they don't have a retirement. They need that check. Are you getting what I'm saying? I want to pastor and preach because I want to, not because I have to.
Now, you know what? Now, that's really, really good. You're helping us to bridge this gap. We're gonna talk to you just a little bit more about ACN. Okay, Miss Brittany Williams, how important is it for you as a young woman to make sure that you leave an inheritance for your children's children? And then talk to us about the proper or appropriate way through your company. How should we leave this earth? Should we leave them overbearing with our bills? Because I can't stand folk to do that. I can't. And you know what? This GoFundMe thing, it has gotten tired. And I think it was Pastor Rob, my husband, of course. Hey, honey. Hey, Pastor Rob. He said, yeah, but some people just can't do any better. And I mean, really? Is that the truth? Or is it they missed an opportunity? And I wonder if you can introduce, Brittany, opportunities to the church, to the world at large, about how they can best have an insurance policy or do better with their finances. Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Introduce yourself and tell folks.
Okay.
Where you.
So my name is Brittany Williams, and I'm actually 27 years old. I am married. I will be married this year for 4 years, but that's been my sweetheart since I was 19. And we have 4 beautiful boys. One is passed, God rest his soul. The oldest is Timothy Jr. Next is Amartier, who passed away in 2014. After that is Logan Williams. And then the youngest is Marty, who just made 6 months. So I just wanted to put that out there. So just to make sure that I understood your question, just basically wanted to know what's the right way to leave an assurance. So just to kind of address that, insurance is the segue to that assurance. Okay. What I mean by that. So a lot of people do not realize that people of color, right, could not buy term insurance way back, right? The reason being is because the other races understood that term insurance started the segue to generational wealth, right? Because you can get a large amount of insurance for that assurance. Okay. So that was the moving force for me when I saw that, because my grandmother and aunts did an awesome job not showing that we were on welfare, right? I didn't know that until I got older. But when I saw that we were poor, that was a big deal for me, especially when I started having children. So having the right type of life insurance, which is term insurance, is the way to go. And what Primerica provides is an opportunity to also invest. Most people of color do not know how to do that. Wow. So that means a lot to me. So not only buy term insurance, but also learn how to invest into the mutual fund, where the banks, the credit unions, and some insurance company actually take our money and they make the most money off of it. But we give people the opportunity to go ahead and invest and grow, starting as low as $25 a month.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. That's how serious this is.
If you want to call in, you can. 708-223-8953 and ask a question of any of our business guests today. 708-223-8953. You just put some meat on our brain. But the other thing that I noticed is that we'll come back to you and ask you that question. Okay. Sure. Minding your own business is our theme today. And we can't mind our business, except we got the woman in the room who can help us to carry our business. You know, when I met Lisette, I said to you, I believe you were called to carry one sister to another. And you have done that in so many different ways. But now she is given the awesome task of helping us to carry our church organization, because we are a real org. Not look, some of y'all just a 501c3 org on paper. We're a real 501c3 org, and she makes sure that we keep our things copacetic, keep them lined up and all that good stuff. Before we of course hear from Lisette. Hi, caller, can you give us your name and where you're calling from? Hey, Miss Vance.
How you doing?
How you doing, big sister?
I am fine. This has been an amazing show. Great information.
Thank you so much. Can you share with our listeners who you're representing on that phone today?
Gladly, yes, thank you. My name is Jessica Vance, and I'm the founder and executive director of the Answer Incorporated Autism Awareness and Support Agency, and we are dedicated to provide support, resources, education, recreation, and advocacy for families impacted by autism and development.
Now, did y'all hear how she made sure she had all that in? Girl, go on over with your best self. Listen, make sure you keep you stay tuned in, because we believe that the Answer Inc. and some other organizations need to be carried. We have come to know, Deborah, that you guys, you can't do it by yourself. I'm a super girl. I'm a super girl. Can't do it by ourselves. So keep listening, okay? Thank you for calling in. All right, honey. Okay. Job grind. So you've been given the awesome task to not only do you know how to carry business, but you know how to carry organizations which deal to us different rules, different regulations. Introduce yourself, your name, and all that good stuff. Tell us if you're married, who your pastors are. No, I'm joking. And just share with us what your business, the premise of your business.
My name is Lisette Harrington, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of Job Grind. And my pastors are Pastor Robert and Angela L. Johnson, Greater Love, Greater Works Outreach International. And yes, I'm very thankful for having the ability to be able to assist and support businesses, individuals, nonprofits, and small businesses. It started out basically when I was 14. I was, writing resumes for my family members before I even had a job. And it was just the joy that I had of, just watching individuals being able to obtain and achieve their goals, through what I could probably be able to help and assist. And that basically grew into where Job Grind is, today. Job Grind was founded in 2011 with the vision of helping individuals just, fulfill their passion and their God-given talent. Because just like you said, Pastor Angela, it's a connection between your ministry and your business. Some people feel like, it's separate, but it really is the same. Wow. And what you actually called to do, what God has put you on this earth to do, is something that builds a business. It creates the wealth for you. It opens up the opportunities and the doors to be able to accomplish what you're called to do on this earth. So
if we are not minding our own business, and I'm not talking about talking to folk, but if we're not minding our own business, then are you guys telling me that we can end up in a situation where my brand can look a little salty or look a little raggedy? Definitely. Y'all know I love. Now that's my word. You asked, let's say, my word is you. If you hear me say raggedy, you're not doing nothing good. Yeah. You're doing bad. Yeah. Don't be raggedy. So of course, the other reason why I thought to talk about today, let's get involved a little bit in this conversation, minding your own business, because we think that there's a separation, Apostle Treadwell, with business versus kingdom. Really, there isn't. And if you really want to know the truth, y'all tell me how y'all feel about this thing. If you really want to know the truth, if you're a Christian, we expect you to have the bar so high till we can't even see it, because you're representing God. Y'all talk to me a little bit about that.
You made me think about Joseph, and I always say, Joseph was the director of over the food stamp program.
Come on here, back in the day.
Are you hearing what I'm saying?
All right,
he was
and when able, God, with regardless of all the ups and downs, trials, tribulations he had, he kept integrity to his vision. He had a dream. He had a dream that he would one day serve over his brothers. And the scripture doesn't tell him what the dream was. It just states that it was a dream. But here it is, years later, after so much turmoil, ups and downs, things he never expected. Here he is now governing, deciding who eats and who doesn't.
My Lord.
And we have to figure out how we can matriculate, how we can move up the ladder to be in a position. I say, stop asking God to bless you. It should be a blessing. Because when you are a blessing, you will always have. I don't want to hand out. I want to be handing out.
Yes,
There's a
yes.
difference. I want to be on the other side. And you can't do that if you have a I need mentality.
But you all talk to me just a little bit. You know, I'm that show that's a bit controversial at times, and I buy into all of that because I can walk in those shoes fully. I want you to talk to us just a little bit about why do you believe, you guys, why do you all believe people get so offended when they hear a clergyman, apostle, teacher, prophet, fivefold ministry gift say God doesn't want to take anything from you. He really wants to bless you. But in order for him to bless us, we need to give. Why do we get so offended about that? Why is there such an offense about that?
I'm going to say sometimes it's an issue with people and spending money, right?
You helping somebody.
In order for you to be able to have a successful business or any type of success, you have to invest. Whether it's investing in your ministry, because it's an investment, you know, whether it's investing into the kingdom, whether it's investing into your own business, you have to be able to sow into what you believe in, you know. And a lot of times that I have encountered, you know, some individuals who they have such a great vision, a great idea, you know, a great a plan to start a business, but they don't want to spend what's necessary. And see, some people don't realize that it doesn't take a lot of money
It really
to start.
doesn't. It really doesn't.
You know,
it really doesn't.
Some people feel like, okay, you know, in terms of insurance, oh, it costs so much. But then just think about what you're risking just by not getting it.
Yes.
You know, and when it comes to different services that you have to have as a business, you gotta have a website, you gotta have social media.
You better
presence.
help somebody.
You gotta
Job
have
grind.
these basic elements.
And can you not do all these things that you are mentioning that folk ought to have?
Yeah.
Job grind is able to carry that load.
Provide that. And then the thing that I like to communicate about when it comes to job grind is that it's not necessarily, it's based on your budget. You know, what are you committed to invest into getting these particular services? They are needed. And sometimes it's not the $400 and $500 and $600 that people really don't have starting off as a new business. Sometimes it's, let's say, all I have is $60. Well, then with that $60, let me show you what you can do to be able to get it off the ground. It's just the commitment and the willingness to invest. You know,
talk to me just a little. Okay, go ahead, Britt. That'll be
comment
awesome.
On that. So
absolutely.
Pretty much with the question that you asked, the first thing that came to mind was mindset, right?
Mindset.
So especially when you're an entrepreneur, you have to have sometimes mental toughness.
Oh,
is your glass half full or half empty? Does that make sense? And so just to kind of piggyback off of things being off of your budget, that's one of the things that Primerica does. We are not the financial services company that has ready-made policies like most insurance companies do. We gear everything towards your budget so that you can sustain your life insurance because it's that important. That's all I got.
Okay, and I mean, you just, I guess you just got us told on that. I don't know what to say. You know, I want you all to talk to us just a little bit about our listeners need to hear. Even as you're starting out, if you're starting out in the CEO portion, come on. What's been something? You're an author now. You're the author of course, Jewels for the Journey, a guide overcoming life's challenges. I want you to talk to our listeners, Apostle Treadwell, about being that person who's starting that business or that ministry and having absolutely nothing to start with but a word, but a hope, but a prayer or a vision that God told you to do it. How can we get going? You girls, I need y'all to get ready because I want you to answer the same question. How can you, where do I start when I start with nothing but a word?
Well, you know, I can give a lot of things. I'd like to talk about what you can't give. You can't give a person discipline.
Wow.
You can't give them passion.
You cannot give a person
discipline.
discipline.
Give them integrity. You can lay out tools and options and resources and opportunities, but you said something that was key. Why am I doing ACN? Because I said to myself, I would not miss the next opportunity to do something great, profound in my life. You follow what I'm saying? And when I saw this, I didn't even talk. I didn't have to talk to God about it. I said, "This makes sense.
Good. You helped
It
me
just
with
makes sense."
It makes sense.
And then you got to take your emotions out of it, because if you keep your emotions in it, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna. You start thinking about your business and what you can do if
That
it's
doubt.
not working.
Mhm.
I haven't got a phone call. I haven't got a response, and you just start to quit. Where's the dreams? That you got to have that passion. Can nobody? You can encourage you all day long. Be like Elisha to sit under the juniper tree and say, God, I quit. But the most anointed man in the Old Testament, but he's quitting on ministry because he's scared of Jezebel.
Scared.
You follow what I'm
So
saying?
there's a fear that
gotta-
comes on us at
Yes,
times.
yes,
You
yes.
got to keep grinding and keep
Keep
pushing
grinding.
and keep investing and knowing it's going to come to pass. You have
Yes.
nothing to lose. You never quit. I say, don't talk to toxic people. Stop talking to people that's not talking like you.
Oh my
I
God.
always say
Stop
Peter
talking
jumped
to
out the
toxic
boat
people.
because, if I can say this real quick, I don't mean to take up a lot of time. Peter was in the boat, but 11 other complaining guys. We're drowning. We're dying. Then the Bible says that they saw something and they all thought it was a ghost.
Mhm.
I'm in a storm. I'm in a bad situation. My life is caving in. And when I'm looking for hope, what I see now is a ghost. It just got worse.
Yes.
You follow what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But then, out of the blue, Christ says, be not afraid, it is I.
Yeah.
They
yeah.
didn't see him,
And
but
bid
they
it in
heard
the cup.
something.
Yeah.
Now, it's amazing how Peter's the only one who recognized Jesus' voice.
Mhm.
I tell folk, you got to be able to hear a word when you can't see God. When you can't see nothing working out, you don't see anything coming together, and everybody around you saying, you got to be out of your mind, we're going to die. You got to be able to hear a word. And when you can hear God, he said, okay, if that's you, bid me to come. He said, come. 2 words, I and come. Be not afraid, it's I.
Mhm.
How can they?
That's awesome.
How can they? Because I want to, of course, I want you all to start giving out your information. How can someone inbox you or email you and talk to you a little bit more about ACN?
Call me at 708. Call my office. 7170593. 708 7170593.
And what's your name on Facebook?
Apostle Timothy A. Treadwell.
Timothy A. Treadwell. You can inbox him and talk to him more about ACN. But I can tell you that, of course, there's a one-liner out there that you guys are giving that'll buy all the Kool-Aid. It just will. Brittany, I want you to talk to me just a little bit about the same thing. What you only have a word that God wants you to start your own business or start doing business. What do you start with?
So, for me personally, one of the things that I found out is a quote that says, your financial GPS starts with the 5 people that you are around. And that is not only for finances, that's spirit.
Come on.
That's even in corporate America.
Come on, it is.
If you are around 5 pastors, you're probably going to be the 6th. If you are around 4 millionaires, you're probably going to be the 5th, right? It just makes sense. So it's all about your environment, right?
Yes,
your environment, the people that you have pouring into you. If you are not speaking to people that's up here and you may be right here, then you're not going anywhere. You can't always, it's okay to pull those up.
Yeah.
But you got to make sure you got somebody else hand up top as well.
Pulling you up.
Exactly. So just starting with
that's good.
And that's pretty much it.
Being in white environment, you can't be taught discipline, or you can be taught discipline, but you do need to go ahead and make up in your mind.
I can't make you do it.
Right. You need to make. It's a made up mind.
Yes,
you have to. Mind. Y'all know I can't stand raggedy. I can't stand raggedy. And I tell you why, because we're living in a very. I'm looking up top. It says go hard. We're living in a very insensitive world.
Yes.
And the church will play with you sometime. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, they will. Mm-hmm. They'll make you think you something that you really are not. But the word, but you get out there, I always tell folks, you say you call to preach or pastor. If you're not, Bebe's kids will send you back.
Sure will.
So talk to us just a little bit, Lisette, about what some of the things I want. And I love what we're talking about, because you guys are giving us some hard knocks answers. Mm-hmm. Lisette, talk to us about compared to say to Lisette that now tightened up job grind that you could share with the companies that you carry to tell them, look, don't I'm not doing that one. If you want to do this, but we're not gonna do it.
Wow. Well, one of the first things that, I had to tell myself was that I couldn't wait until everything was perfect to get started.
Y'all have to know.
I couldn't wait.
I know, Lisette. You got to know that.
Because I'm a perfectionist.
She is a perfectionist.
Just, so I couldn't wait until I got everything, until everything was perfect, until my website was up, until I could be able to articulate correctly about Job Grind, even though I didn't want to come raggedy. So I was like, if I don't have it all together, I'm not going to come at all. And it was a guy who told me this when he was talking about brand, because I was like, I got to represent my brand the right way. Mm-hmm. He said, your brand starts, you represent your brand with your work. Wow. He said, before you even have a website, before you even have, be able to do your first meeting or your first session, the work. Your work represents yourself. And that's how a lot of people came and really poured into Job Grind, because it was the work. I was always behind the scenes. I like staying behind the scenes because that way I push my work forward. And then if you want to find me, you can find me. But in certain seasons, you have to be ready to come out and be in the forefront and then represent your brand in a new and innovative way. So that was one of the things that I had to, tell myself.
That you have to represent your brand well.
Absolutely.
Or your brand is you. Y'all, come on. Yeah. You had something for us.
Yeah, I was just going to say, because I don't know where you're going next, but I just wanted to say.
Take us there.
As it relates to ACN, if you want to lower your gas to as low, your light and gas, as low as $39 a month, watch this: unlimited usage, flat rate, it will never go up. Unlimited usage, flat rate, it will never go up, as low as $39 a month. That could save you $300 or $400 a month, easy. Now I got somebody, I can buy some insurance, I can start a business.
Absolutely.
I have some extra income.
Call me at 708-717-0593, 708-717-0593. We will get your gas and your light bill down. It will be unlimited usage. It will never go up. And if you want to make some money, just stay on the phone. We'll show you how to do that too.
So not only can you count on your gas and your lights
absolutely
plummeting down, we're going down.
I did my house and my church.
Oh my God. We can also, if you want to make income, if you need some more money, been looking. Now, come on, y'all. You say you need some extra coins. All you need to do is dial what? 708?
708-717-0593. And it doesn't cost you a dime to get the services.
Wow.
Don't cost you
nothing. No sign up fee.
No.
708
717-0593. 708-717-0593.
And of course, that is ACN Apostle Treadwell. And also, you can get his book. You can get the book. The book is, of course, Jewels for the Journey. Don't forget to sign up. Get the book. And of course, you can go to Apostle Timothy A. Treadwell on Facebook. You can inbox him. He answers back. It's a lot of folks.
Go to Amazon.com
and get the book. Amazon.com and get the book. Don't forget this. Amazon.com. Get the book, Jewels for the Journey, a guide for overcoming life's challenges. Listen, we can't have mind your business unless you talk about business and you talk about ministry. We are bridging the gap. Yes. Tell us this, Brittany, while we're still here, we still got a few more minutes. Tell us about, of course, life insurance. Okay, what, off the top of your head, maybe you don't have to think, or maybe you'll have to share with us at a later date what the exact numbers are. But are you finding that people are signing up for life insurance more and more and more, or is it less? And why do you think people kind of are scared to sign up?
Yes, people are signing up more and more and more.
Okay.
Because they have a fear of, knowing your birth date, but not your death date, right? Some people are afraid to sign up. I met a young lady yesterday, actually, and she's like, well, I don't plan on dying. You don't plan on dying. But
word to the mothership.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, and that's what I thought, but I wasn't going to say that.
You didn't preach to her just as sure as you were born. Come on.
But I knew to go ahead and get that young lady's contact information. we exchange so that I can help her out. Not only is it just, having life insurance, but I can also show you as well, like he said, how to make some additional income to start that business that you may be looking for. And even outside of that, you might see an opportunity to grow here in Primerica because there's all type of income earners.
Yes.
So it's a phenomenal company, and more people should be open to not just life insurance, but investing and also getting extra streams of income.
Does Primerica make the insurer, or do you call them the insuree? Do they make them go and have the health, get the medical evaluations?
So it all depends. Primerica does have a great program called the Term Now program,
Okay.
which can bypass up into a substantial amount of hundreds of thousands of life insurance that you can get, and you could bypass the physical. However, anywhere between a $500,000 and up, then they might consider that.
Yeah.
But mind you have that gap to start off, your income protection, because people don't understand that that's what life insurance is. In case your assets does not add up before you die, this is what's going to take care of the rest of your family.
20-something-year-old child in a family just past his teens, 20 years old, family, the parents have 3 of those in their family, 20, 23, 24, no life insurance. How much would that life insurance be? Healthy children.
Oh, anywhere between $50 to $60.
For all 3?
The entire family.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
The entire
and so,
family.
Of course, pastors, if you're out there and you need to connect with Brittany for your church, getting insurance for you, I hate to see that. We know that pastors out there right now have church buildings and don't have no insurance. Sure. So, of course, when somebody throws a match, here we go. And so how can they get in touch with you, Brittany?
You can reach me at my working cell, which is 630-542-7724. Okay, 630-542-7724.
And so, of course, you've got companies like these. You've got the ACN. You got the Arthur job grind of Jewels for the Journey. Of course, Primerica, you get to hold your own, so to speak. But you got an Arthur over here who is now going to be, it's going to be a great demand on Apostle Treadwell to go and speak, go and talk about his book, go and speak, go talk about his company. And Job Grind does what? Again, for businesses, growing businesses, lucrative business. What do they do for them?
Well, in the case of Apostle Treadwell, we would be able to first initially, have a meeting to talk about your vision. What is your goal for your book? What do you see? And then from there, we create a plan. And based on that plan, it could be social media presence. It could be setting up and connecting with the right particular individuals in the right environments to be able to get your book. So it could be book readings, so it's so many different elements when it comes to one individual's purpose. Yeah. And it's like, one thing that I love about Job Grind is that we lock into that cutter, process that we utilize just to, make money. We actually engage. Sometimes I feel a little too much, but we engage in the purpose and your passion and your vision and your idea. And then we set the elements and bring the resources necessary to help that, that purpose to grow. And so it's so many different elements.
I love the way that you guys, all of my businesses today, my CEOs, you all connect in some way. So we thank God so much for you all stopping by one sister to another. My first show of the year, and it had to be you guys minding your own business. We don't care if that business is ministry. We don't care if that business is actual business where you actually have a product. You have to represent your brand. You represent your brand how? You represent your brand in integrity. You represent it in character. Your yes ought to mean yes, and your no ought to mean no. If they need to get in touch with you, how do they do that again? ACN Apostle Treadwell. How can we do that?
708-717-0593. Let me lower your light and gas.
That's what I'm talking about.
717-0593.
Okay, and of course, if they need to get in touch with you, Primerica, Miss Brittany.
Primerica, You can call me at 630-542-7724. Again, 630-542-7724, and allow me to do a complimentary financial needs analysis.
Now, see, you can't get any better than that. Go ahead, Miss Job Grind.
Yeah, definitely. You can reach us on Facebook, Job Grind, or you can reach us on our website, www.jobgrind.com. Or you can reach me by phone, 312-848-2939.
And of course, they don't do any consultations on Sunday, but we might let them. Just meet us at 17 West, 620 Reardon, Villa Park, Illinois, 60181 if you're going to navigate. Our church is Greater Love, Greater Works Outreach International. Of course, I am one sister to another, Intellectual Radio, iHeartRadio. And of course, this has been our show today. You better meet me on next week. God bless. We'll see you soon.
Turn around. I'm on a mission, and I won't be down. I can't stop, y'all. I won't stop. I'm too far. Oh, I can't. I won't. I can turn around.